This video is a continuation of Season 2, Episode 1 of the session when I was in London. And if you haven't seen that, it's on my Instagram page at Asterod. But I recently had a chat with Tiki because he's been really locked in with his tricks in 2025. He's hitting quad core combos, which is insane. And I really had to ask him because he recently moved back to London from Gotland on how impactful that move was for him with his progression. So that's what this video is all about. All right, so we have a little bit of a chat with Tiki today, and I'm just going to ask him some questions. So let's get started.
Yeah.
How long has it been since you moved from Gotland to London?
So I moved here in March. I was living in Gotland from like 2020 until 2025. So, half a decade. And then this year I had an opportunity to move in with a friend of mine who I've known for a very long time, and I took it. I've been meaning to get kind of out of Gotland anyways, and so somewhere familiar where I grew up. London seemed like a good option, and I've been enjoying my time being back quite a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
So like how has just transitioning from the Gotland gym to the London gym has affected your progression?
I mean, considering the Gotland gym floor was foam blocks, and pretty shitty foam blocks at that, and then being here on like a floor that is designed by trickers and also made to trick on, definitely big difference. Here is obviously spring as well, makes a nice difference. And so I would say it's just nice to be able to do stuff that I wouldn't be able to do on that floor, both space-wise and also functionality-wise. The floor was... Just gonna wait for it to go. Yeah. The floor was bad enough to where I couldn't do punches in Gotland. So like, I mean, I could, but it was hard. And I would do round offs, and it's just like, it's not as functional. Swings worked fine. I still, to this day, I think foam block floors are fine for swings. But being able to do punches here is quite nice. Being able to just land a little bit more, I don't know, fail more softly is nice, because as much as I could fail softly over there, it was hard enough to where it definitely hurt a little bit more than it does here. So there's lots of ways that the training space has been a lot better for me here than it was on Gotland. Yeah.
I remember I was texting you about how to do janitor, and you're like, I don't ever do janitor on this floor.
No, never. Yeah, pretty much like punch moves were mostly not done. Like I hardly ever did them on that floor. And so going here, I still don't do janitors that much. I only really do janitors when I'm competing. But in my own personal training time now here, like I can, if I want to train backside 16, I can here. That just wasn't an option on the old floor. Yeah. So the training space is a lot better, and yeah, just like it's nicer to be surrounded by more trickers, I'd say, because I was only training with 2 people sometimes. Most of the time it was just one guy, my boy Asterod. He was out there coming up to session with me when nobody else was on Gotland. And so like, I don't like training alone at this point in my life. It's just like, it's not enjoyable. It's not enjoyable to go up, and I did it a few times. It was like a 40-minute drive away when I was on the island, and going up, driving 40 minutes to just train in a gym by myself, is just not the vibe. I'll let the train go.
The Sigma male lifestyle.
Yes, yeah, literally. So yeah, like going from training with one person to going to train with like a good few, there's lots of different people that come to our gym and train. As we spoke about a little bit, I've had Baniaga over here, AJ Baniaga and Aiden Kennedy over. They've been, yeah, it's oft. Sometimes it's because it's so infrequent. It's so random.
It's not big.
Yeah.
Go over it.
AJ Baniaga and Aiden Kennedy have been here for work, and so getting a chance to train with them every here and now weekend has been really, really fun. So like, yeah, going from training with one guy versus all the different people over here make it, just a much more accessible, I think, training space than what I was with before. Yeah.
Nice. I've seen videos of you online saying you prefer foam cube floors over spring. Does that still hold true?
I like them for different reasons. I'd say, broadly speaking, spring floors are just better. They're just better. Although the best foam block floors that I've been on are just as good, if not like more comfortable sometimes. And the reason I say that is because I've been on some foam blocks floors where it's like good foam blocks, then there's a good proper layer of foam before the carpet. And I think that is more realistic. And what I mean by that is you can have a really cracked spring floor and then go on a slightly worse floor and it not be like or go on like dead floor and it just feels like completely like all of your tricks are removed or whatever. But the nice thing about a foam block floor is it feels less like, I suppose, cheating. And I wouldn't call a good spring floor cheating necessarily, but there's a difference between like a really hard skill landed on a foam block floor and a hard skill landed on like the best spring floor, like a tundra floor. Like there is, in my head, a measurable difference. One is harder than the other. And so I kind of like it for multiple reasons. I think it's like, if I want to trick on grass, at some point, if I want to bring any of the skills that I'm doing to grass, I think a foam block floor is a lot better for that. I mean, the joke was always that the Gotland floor was as bad as grass, and that's why I could do like 2-2-3 on grass and it not be like I literally spent 2 tries trying that and I was able to land it because it wasn't unfamiliar. You know, it's like the bounce wasn't totally different. And I think I like that idea more than the spring floor. I think all floors have their own merit. I still think foam block floors are great, but spring floors are also just fantastic. Yeah, it really depends on the makeup of everything. It depends on how much foam. If you have a layer of foam under the between the wood and the carpet, there's lots of different variables. I'd say spring floors are probably the most consistently good, but then the best foam floors I've been on have just been as good. Yeah, I've been on par. Yeah.
I've only been on one really nice one. The En Extremis one.
Yeah, En Extremis is good.
Yeah,
really,
that's
really good. Yeah,
really
that's
nice.
really nice floor. Yeah, I really enjoyed tricking on that. And that's what I mean. Like a good foam block floor is fantastic. The Basingstoke one, the first one that I ever trained in the UK, because I was too young to go to Beckton at the time, which was the old blue gym that everybody trained in, all the trickers trained in. That one used to have a grey floor. Now it's red. It used to have a grey floor. If you look at like my first tricking clips, a lot of them are from that gym. It was a grey floor and it was 2 foam block layers stacked on top of each other. It was foam block, wood, and then the carpet. And fuck me, do I miss that floor. That was a really, really, really nice floor. It definitely it just gave you like, it didn't spring you up, but it also didn't fight you at all. Like you could punch on that floor, it would be fine. I guess part of the reason that I love foam block floors is because I grew up with that. Yeah.
All right, so the second question is, let's rewind it before we moved back to London.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you feel like training at that Gotland floor gave you an edge when it came to performing at gatherings?
I don't think it gave me an edge. I think it gave me maybe it just meant that I would go higher on pretty much whatever floor. Like our floor is not good on Gotland at all. Like definitely it's a foam block floor, but it's at the lower end of foam block floors I've been on anyway. So it's kind of all around shit. So whatever I'd go, in a way, like whenever I'd go to a gathering, I'd always been on a floor that was better than mine. So that was, I guess you could call that an edge, but at the same way, like it means that I'm also sometimes going higher than I'm, anticipating for and stuff like that. So it could add some dangerous variables in there as well. And there's definitely times where I have gone too high and like almost hyperextended at my knee or whatever. Like I think at Vertigo, just before I won Vertigo, was it 4? Did I win Vertigo? Yeah, I think it was, Vertigo 4 I won. Just before the battle started, I did a scoot dub and tried to swing it and my leg just was so overlocked. Too straight, and I remember feeling it, like the takeoff being really bad, and like I definitely hyperextended it a little bit, but then I just was like, well, I'm still gonna battle, and I still battled and I won. The next morning though, I woke up and it was definitely a stiff knee. So like there's situations like that which I think aren't great. I think you should be training on a floor that, if you're going to be competing, it's good to train on floors that are similar to the floors that you're going to be competing on always. You want that familiarity. That being said, like there's so many different competitions for different types of floors, so it's hard to prepare for everything. So I'd say like it didn't necessarily give me an edge, but I don't think it was a bad thing that I trained on a worse floor. I think it made it sometimes easier to do harder skills when I went to events and battled. But yeah. So I would say probably not. I don't think it gave me an edge. I just think I'm in general, I'm quite good at transitioning between floors just because I've had a lot of experience on a lot of different surfaces. I've had experience on spring floors. I've had experience on foam block floors, air tracks. I use it all really. I have a whole concrete sampler. And so like I'm very used to tricking on all sorts of surfaces. So it doesn't take me too long to adjust to whatever I'm being presented with. Yeah.
Yeah. Like in my head anyways, like I'd imagine it as like a form of resistance training.
Yeah.
Like transitioning from a shittier floor to a nicer floor.
It's like, I guess you could see it as like Rock Lee taking the weights off or whatever. But
that is better. Now I will be able to move freely.
it's not really like that. It's not like, I would say it's not, if you're having a good day, the floor doesn't matter too much, really. You know, you're going to be tricking good, whatever. And so I would never say that, like, I don't think I would ever say that it gave me a unique edge, so to speak. I think it was just like, yeah, I was just training on a shitty floor, really. Yeah.
All right, so the third question is, what are some things you really like about overgravity gymnastics?
More than anything, I love my colleagues. I love the people that work here. I think, like, the people that who work here, Matteo, like the owners, Matteo and Davide, I've known for a very long time. I've known Davide for less time than I've known Matteo. Matteo was really the first tricker I ever met.
Really?
Pretty much. Like the first real tricker that I ever met was Matteo. And the story behind that was I was 14 years old, starting tricking, didn't know where to look for, if there was any tricking in London, had no real clue. I knew that there was Plan Zero guys in Birmingham, like the Garrison, but in terms of London tricking, I was really lost. I didn't really know. So I just Googled online, like tricking in London, and there was tricking lessons being ran at that Blue Floor gym in Beckton by Matteo. Matteo was running tricking lessons in Beckton for, yeah, I think it was, yeah, like teens to, I think it was like 12 to 18 or something was the age range that you could, or 13 to 18, something like that. So I convinced my dad to take me to one, and that was the first time I had any interaction with any tricker other than like me and my little brother. And that was, I went to the gym and Matteo was there, and also, funnily enough, Sean Silvestri from the Garrison was also there. And I'd been watching Sean in the Plan Zero videos for like at least a couple of months at that point. So I was like, oh shit, I was a little bit starstruck. I was like, oh shit, it's Sean from Plan Zero. So that's cool. Like it was a really cool moment to me. I also met Niall there. And so I've known them since I was literally 14. I've known Matteo since I was 14, and I didn't get to train. That was, funnily enough, that tricking class that I went to was the last tricking class he ran there. And I couldn't go to open session there because I was too young. It was 16 and up. So I wasn't able to train with Matteo for those 2 years until I was 16. And that's when I started going to that gym and actually getting to train with him. But ever since then, he was like, you know, we've been training partners for a very, very long time. I've been training with Matteo. He's seen me go from nothing to everything. And so having that environment now I'm 23, and he's my boss essentially. He's, you know, the guy that I work for here. He understands tricking. Obviously, he's built this place as not only somewhere to teach, but also somewhere to train. And yeah, overall, I think it's just been a really fulfilling workspace. I think the people that surround and work with me here are fantastic, all of them. Even the people that I haven't known before here and have only met since coming and moving over here, it's consistently people that I get along with and love to train with and love to interact with. So that's a big, big plus. And then really it's the space as well. I love that there's this place. I mean, there's a calisthenics gym behind us that I could go and do Nordics. I never had a Nordic set up at home. They have a Nordic set up here that I can do. Yeah, I basically don't need a gym subscription. I can come here and lift weights if I need to. So that's fantastic as well. Teaching here is great. I think the community that we've built here, the fact that it's mostly adults. I teach, you know, it's adult gymnastics, and the fact that people of all different, I mean, we have kids classes too. I teach some kid classes, but for the most part, it's adults, and they come here, and, you know, rather than parents trying to get their kids to learn something and like kind of pushing it onto them, and the kids not really wanting to do it, and it's like so a lot of kids classes have that dynamic. Here, it's a bunch of adults paying their own money because they want to learn how to flip, and so working here has been definitely the best gym that I've ever worked in terms of that. Like it's enjoyable to give these people a taste of kind of like what flipping is all about and what like gymnastics or tumbling or tricking is, and the fact that, you know, you can a lot of the time seeing the accomplishment on somebody else's face, or like seeing them get happy at their accomplishments helps, you know. It almost feels like I'm watching myself do it for the first time again, and I think that's a really special thing. So yeah, I'd say the gym is It's great facility-wise. Its ownership is fantastic. And the location is really, really nice for me, at least, considering it's one train away. I take one train. It takes about 35 minutes, 40 minutes to get here from my place. And so like there's just a lot of different ways that it kind of worked out. And yeah, since I've been working here, it's been fantastic. Matera being my boss, basically, he understands as well that I am also a professional tricker, and my other job is to go across the world and compete and whatnot. And so like there's a lot of understanding there. It's not like a normal job that I would have that'd be like, oh, he's away all the time, whatever. It's like, we have these conversations and it's very understanding. And I think working for trickers is the best situation I could be in, really. Yeah, so gym's great for a lot of reasons. I come here to train, I come here to lift, I come here to teach. It's just like an all-encompassing. I'm basically here and at my house since I've been living here, and having this place to go to consistently has not been a bad thing at all. Yeah.
It's all really good to hear.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming,
of course,
doing this interview, taking the time out of your day
Yeah.
to tell us a little bit about your perspective.
Yeah.
So
then there's a kids class slowly, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.